Hello, folks. Welcome to today's football predictions and bet crowds. Another very beautiful day, beautiful Thursday morning, and we back with our predictions as usual. Okay, it's another very beautiful win for those of my VIP guys. Yesterday, it was another wonderful win, and today we're going to do well. I always urge you to join that VIP group so that you don't miss out on our games. All right, remember to subscribe as well as we head on to look at our football matches for today. And today's game. Who have those games lined up, as usual. And we'll be starting with the very first match. It is in Finland, Kakoken. Okay, well, we have TP47 who will be facing OSPA. All right, and when we look at the stats for each of these matches, you see for the home side, it is a 5 victories and a draw in the last 6 games. And they've not lost any single match. And the away side, on the other hand, the OSPA have had 4 wins and 2 losses out of the last 6 instance encounters. And when you look at how these two teams fared from home and away perspective, you can see the home side, TP47, it is 8 wins and a draw, as well as 1 loss in the last 10 home matches that they had so far. And the away side, you could only see records of 4 games that they had, and those 4 games they had 2 wins out of those and 2 losses as well. But also quite noticeable is the score line for these two sides. You can see that for the home side, TP47, the last 10 home matches have resulted to over 2.5 on 9 occasions out of the last 10 games that they had. And we said those 4 matches that they had, all of them produced over 2.5. 3 out of those produced over 4.5. All right, so here we're definitely going for the goals to show up in this very encounter. We expect to see a minimum of 3 goals to occur here, over 2.5. That's valid for that very game. Okay, and the next that we have for you today is also in Finland in the White Corner League, where we have Jazz FC Jazz will be up against PKKU. All right, and when you look at this, the stats for each of these clubs, you can see that FC Jazz have had 3 victories and 3 losses, and PKKU having 3 victories as well as 1 draw and 2 losses in the last 6 games that they had so far. Okay, and we take a look at how these two teams performed from home and away perspective. You can see that FC Jazz have managed to, they are actually having 6 victories in the last 10 games and 3 losses as well as 1 draw. But also looking closely, you can see that 7 games out of 10 in the last 10 home matches for Jazz have actually produced over 2.5. They've been scoring lots of goals. The last home game that they had, saw them losing out to Cubs by 6 goals to 2, from home on that occasion. All right, the last 5 home matches that they have, saw them scoring a minimum of 3 in each matches. Okay, so the away side, on the other hand, PKKU, on the other hand, have had 5 victories from away and 2 draws, as well as 3 losses, and they've been also scoring some goals, over 3.5 in the last 3 away games that they had, produced over 3.5 lots of goals again. And the last 10 away games they had produced over 2.5 8 times out of 10. And the last time both teams met, which was actually last year, it was a 2-3 victory for PKKU from away on that very occasion. They actually won, and they produced over 2.5 once again. So here we are going for the goals to occur in this very one. It is and over 2.5. That's what we expect for that very encounter. A minimum of 3 goals. That's what value for that very game. All right, and it takes us to the next. For today, it is in Sweden, Division 1 South, where we have Norrby who will be coming up against Torslanda. Okay, and when you take a look at the recent matches for each of these sides, you see for Norrby, the home side, it is 2 victories and 2 draws, and also 2 losses in the last 6 games that they have so far. And on which side, on the other hand, Torslanda also winning 2 games and 2 draws, and as well as losing 2 matches in the last 6 encounters. All right, both two teams are virtually equal in terms of recent performances. All right, and when you look at how the two teams fared from home and away perspective, you could see the home side Norrby have actually won 5 matches and 4 draws in the last 10 home games. They've not lost. Okay, they actually lost 1 match out of the last 10 home matches. All right, but have been able to achieve 5 victories and 4 draws out of those last 10 home matches that they had. And away side Torslanda have managed just 1 win, and they've had 1 draw, but have lost a whooping 8 matches in the last 10 away games that they had. The last 3 away games that they had, sort of losing all 3, That tells you a lot about this very side. It's not a side that does very well from away. They lose most of the matches when playing from away. All right, for that's Torslanda. And on head-to-head performances, you could see the last time they met was in August of last year, and it was Norrby who actually won from home on that very occasion by 1-0. But prior to that, we saw them playing out a 1-0 draw on 2 occasions. All right, that goes to looks like each time Norrby played from home, they actually had always have a good result against this very side playing from home. All right, so we expect to see the home side and Norrby doing very well and winning outrightly in this very encounter, considering what we've seen, considering that we've seen them winning 5 matches in the last 10 home games, all right, losing just 1. So we expect a home win here, Norrby to win outrightly, just over for that very encounter. Okay, and that takes us to the next which are going to be the last for today on the last free bet for today also is in Sweden. Sweden Division 1 South. Once again, what we have has Husqvarna coming up against Lund. All right, Husqvarna, the home side, in the last 6 matches have only managed 2 draws. They've also had 4 losses in the last 6 games that they had. And the away side, Lund, have managed 4 wins, a draw, as well as a loss in the last 6 recent encounters. Okay, when you look at performances from home and away perspective, you can see that Husqvarna, the home side, it is 4 victories that they've had so far in the last 10 home matches. All right, that was the first 4 home games that they had in the last 10 home matches, sort of winning all 4 of those home matches. But the rest, I've seen them manage just 2 draws and 4 losses. All right, the last 6 home games that they had saw them having 2 draws and 4 losses. They've not been doing so very well of recent. And Lund, on the other hand, have managed to achieve 4 victories from away and a draw. They've also lost 5 matches. But as a matter of fact, the last 4 home matches that they had, 4 away games that they had rather, actually produced 3 wins and 1 loss. It was actually the last away game that they had that they lost to Skodiv on that very occasion. And so Skodiv is actually a very good side in this very division. So on head-to-head basis, it was also Lund who won the last meeting by 2-0. And I'm going for the away side and Lund to rise to the occasion once again and win out for playing this very one. So I expect to see an away win here, judging by the fact that I've seen Lund winning 4 matches in the last 6 games and also losing just 1. Meanwhile, the home side have lost 4 out of those and having 2 draws. They've not won in the last 6 games. So away side to win, that's our value for that very encounter. Right, and that brings our predictions for you today of Betcraft to a conclusion. Wish you the very best and hope your ticket goes great. Remember to subscribe to our VIP special where we get games that are quite closer to 100% coming out successful. All right, I select those ones and I in my opinion I feel that those ones would certainly have more possibility of coming out successful. All right, tomorrow is another day. We're back. Until then, keep winning.